Alright y'all, so today we are going to be doing the elimination method. So elimination method means that we will be adding and subtracting two linear equations, and if you notice they are in standard form, right? Standard form is ax plus by equals c. So if you look at our example, we have 3y plus x equals 10 and 2x minus y equals 5. If you notice, that goes in ax, by, and c. So these are all in standard form. We're going to be using the elimination method. Elimination means adding or subtracting two of these things together in order to find our x and y. So it's kind of similar to substitution in the fact that we are looking for an x and y pair. Alright? The difference here is this time we're just going to be flat out adding and subtracting these two as opposed to substituting them in for a variable. Alright? So what we are going to start with, we're going to start with our example like we normally do. Alright, so we will go ahead and start with 3x plus y equals 10 and 2x minus y equals 5. So how we can start this and set it up, I'm just going to rewrite 3x plus y equals 10 and 2x minus y equals 5. We're going to be adding these two things together. Alright? So if we look right here, easy thing to start off with, well, y minus y, we know this is going to cancel, so it's gone. We eliminated those y's. So we're going to bring down our leftovers, and we have 3x plus 2x. Well, 3 plus 5 is 2. 3 plus 2 is 5, and you have to carry down your x with it, so that's 5x equals 10 plus 5 is 15. Alright, now we just want to solve for x. So to solve for x, all we have to do is divide out the 5 in front of x like we've been doing. So divide both sides by 5. 5 divided by 5 crosses, and that's 1. So x equals 15 divided by 5 is 3. Alright, so we have found x. Now, we found x through elimination. Well, we can plug x back into one of these equations and it'll give us y. So we're also using substitution again, right? Except we're not solving through substitution for both of them. This time we're just plugging in and substituting x for 3 in one of these two problems. Let's do the top one. So we have 3 times 3 plus y equals 10, right? And I put 3 right there because x equals 3, so anywhere I see an x, I'm going to put a 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. Plus y equals 10. Well, I want to solve for y. So I'm just going to subtract 9 on both sides because I want y by itself. And y equals 1. 10 minus 9 is 1. So I have y equals 1 and x equals 3. Okay? So that's how we do that one. So we can double check too just to make sure. So if we look over here, we would get 2 times 3 is 6 minus y equals 10. So I'm just going to show y'all over here 2 times 3 minus y equals 5. So we get 6 minus y equals 5. Well, we know we're going to have to subtract on both sides, and we get negative y equals negative 1. Well, there's a problem because we can't have a negative y. So if we have a negative y, that means, let me draw this better so it looks like a y. Kind of like a y. It's a fancy y. We'll just call it a fancy y. Negative y means that there's a negative 1 in front of it, so we have to divide out negative 1 on both sides, and we get y equals a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 1 divided by 1 is 1. So if you look, we got 1 both times. That's how you know we're correct. Alright? So let's move on to our next problem. We have x minus y equals negative 6 and x plus y equals 8. Alright, so I'm not going to rewrite it this time just for the sake of space, but we can go ahead and set up. So I know I'm going to be adding these two things together. Well, if we look out here, y and negative y, those two will cancel out. Let me move this a little bit closer. There we go. Those two will cancel out. So we're going to have these two gone. Y minus y is gone, and let me focus this a little bit better. There we go. Looks much better. X plus x is 2x equals negative 6 plus positive 8. All right, this is a negative. This is a negative 6. So 8 plus negative 6 is kind of like saying 8 minus 6. Well, 8 minus 6 is 2, so negative 6 plus 8 is also 2. All right, now I want to solve for x. So to solve for x, I'm going to do the same thing again, divide out 2 on both sides, and I have x equals 1. All right, so that's my first value for x. X is equal to 1. Now I'm going to take one of these two. Doesn't really matter which one, but I will go ahead and do the bottom one. So I have x plus y equals 8. So x plus y equals 8. Anywhere I see an x, I'm going to put a 1. So I do 1 plus y equals 8. All right, to solve this out, I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, and I have y equals 8 minus 1 is 7. These two cancel, of course. So y equals 7. If you want to double check it, you can use the other problem. You do x minus y equals negative 6. Well, that's anywhere I see an x, I'm going to put a 1. Y minus 1 equals negative 6. You know you're going to have to subtract it from both sides. So minus 1 and then minus 1 on the 6. The 1s will cancel out, and you have negative y equals negative 7. But look right here, that's a negative y. We have to divide by negative 1. And that means y equals 7. So we got the same thing twice. We are good. All right, number 2. I have 2x plus y equals 12 and negative 3x plus y equals 2. So I'm going to add these two together. All right, now we're going to have something a little bit different on this one. So what we're going to start with is, excuse me, we are going to start adding some things together, but we can rewrite some equations on here as the opposite. So this is something a little bit different. It's going to take us, it might take a second for you to see what happened here, but we're going to rewrite and do 2x plus y equals 12. We can rewrite this equation to make it the same thing. Everywhere you see a positive number, you're going to change it to a negative, and everywhere you see a negative number, you're going to change it into a positive. So that means negative 3x becomes positive 3x, negative y, or y becomes negative y, and 2 becomes negative 2. So we're doing this because we are making these the opposite. Okay, so you can turn things into their opposite by multiplying them by negative 1. That's what we did here, right? A negative times a negative is a positive times a negative is a negative, and a negative times a positive is a negative. Okay, so if you look, all we did was multiply everything by negative 1, and that's how we got this type of problem. So we're going to add these together. Well, right here, what can we do with these y's? Cancel them. Cross them out. All right, so we crossed them out. We have 2x plus 3x is 5x equals 12 plus negative 2. Well, that's 10. So divide both sides by 5. We have x equals 2. All right, well, we got x. Let's try the top one this time. So we have 2x plus y equals 12. Anywhere that I see an x, I will put a 2. So I have 2 times 2 plus y equals 12. So this is 4 plus y equals 12. And then we want to subtract the 4 so we can get y alone, because remember, we subtract because that is a positive 4, so y equals 8. Because 12 minus 4 is 8. Alright? So, those are our x's and y's. What I want y'all to try to do is, instead of using the top one, use the bottom one. Tell me if you got the same thing. Okay? You should get the same thing on both of these. Alright, so let's move on down to the next one. We've got 2x plus 3y equals negative 1, and 2x plus 5y equals 25. So, this time, we have something different going on here. Instead of crossing out our y's, we'll be crossing out our x's, right? Because 2 minus 2, that's negative 2x plus positive 2x. Well, that's like saying 2 minus 2. 2 minus 2, well, we know that's 0, so that's gone. We're going to cross this out. Now we have 3y plus 5y, that's 8y, equals, well, negative 1 and 25. 25 is a positive number, and it is larger than negative 1, so that means our answer will be positive. You can also say this like 25 minus 1. Well, 25 minus 1 is 24. So y equals 24. Okay? Now what we're going to do, just like everything else, you see it back up here, if we had a number in front of our variable that we're looking for, we divide it out. So we do divide by 8 on both sides, and we have 8 divided by 8 is 1, so that's gone. 24 divided by 8 is 3, so y equals 3. Okay? Now, we want to look for x. So we're looking for x this time. Let's just do 2x plus 3y equals 25. So anywhere we see a y, we put a 3. So 2x plus 3 times 3 equals 25. So that would be 2x plus 9 equals 25. Okay? Now, I'm going to draw an arrow to point where I'm going to. So I've got 2x. Well, I know I got to subtract 9 on both sides because I want 2x alone, equals, these 9s cancel. 25 minus 9 is 16, so we want to divide 2 on both sides, and we get x equals 8. So x and y, those are our two values that I found. I want y'all to see if you can find the other value. Alright, so we're on our last one. We have 4x plus 2y. That does say 14. I'm sorry if it's like kind of hard to see, but that's 14. And then 5x plus 2y equals 16. So, if you notice, we're going to have to do the same thing on 4 that we did on 2, where we changed one of these into its opposites. So, we will be doing that to the second one, okay? So, we're going to be taking this one and changing it into its opposite. So I'm going to rewrite this, draw an arrow. We have 4x plus 2y equals 14. There we go. Now y'all can see it's 14. And then we take everything down here and multiply it by negative 1. So we're going to multiply all this by negative 1. Alright? Multiplying it by negative 1 makes it its opposite. So we know the opposite of 5x is negative 5x. Opposite of 2x, of course, would be negative 2. 2y would be negative 2y. And the opposite of 16 is negative 16. So I've just changed all these until they're opposites. Now, same thing, add them. Well, 2y minus negative 2y, that cancels out. That's eliminated. It's gone. Alright? 4x plus negative 5x, that's going to be negative x equals 14 minus 16. Alright, 14 minus 16, negative 16 is the larger number, so our answer has to be negative. And 14 minus 16 is negative 2. Well, look at that. That's a negative x. I don't want a negative x. So divide by negative 1 on both sides. Negative divided by negative is a positive, so that's x. Negative divided by negative is a positive. 2 divided by 1 is, of course, 2. So it's positive 2. Now we're going to take 4x. I'm going to take the top one. Y'all can try the bottom ones for yourself. So 14. Anywhere I see an x, I'm going to put a 2. So 4 times 2 plus 2y equals 14. That's 8 plus 2y equals 14. I'm going to draw my arrow so y'all see where I'm going. Now I'm going to have 8 plus 2y equals 14. Let me rewrite it up here. 2y equals 14. Subtract 8 on both sides. 8's cancel. 2y equals 14 minus 8 is 6. So 2y equals 3 when I divide 2 on both sides. So that is how we are doing elimination. Alright, again, I would recommend maybe trying some of these once you feel a little comfortable with it. Trying them as I do it. So if I did the example up here, you pause it and try number 1 for yourself. Or I can do number 1, you do number 2, and just try different ones like that for yourself. So every other one. Okay? If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, ask me anything, and I will try my best to help. Good luck, y'all.